we could talk about Martin Luther King's birthday. Martin Luther King's birthday observance, the third Monday in January, is an American holiday. Now, unfortunately, black leadership, a significant portion of black leadership, believes that it is progress when the rest of America adopts or embraces something that's special to us. But I am a black nationalist, a revolutionary Pan-African nationalist who is about African people regaining control over our own circumstances. So from that point of view, we do not measure our progress. We do not say that we're moving forward by having the dominant society embrace something that relates to us. I understand people getting confused around that. I may or may not be able to do a good job with you in terms of understanding the difference, and I intend to improve on my ability to explain and move folks. So I've got some appreciation of Martin Luther King. I am clear that Martin Luther King ideologically did not represent what I am about, but at the same time, you do some reading in terms of Martin Luther King, you can get a better appreciation that goes beyond the "I have a dream" speech, or we as a people will get to the mountaintop. There's some other great stuff in terms of Martin Luther King, but in terms of America government choosing that day, I would say that if you really want to revere King, make time to revere him on his actual birthday and not necessarily the day that they gave you off. So basically, these big retail companies can have a sale, right? Come on, that ain't what we're about. There's a number of other holidays that we know basically a good portion of people in this country are not about that. I mean, you're going to get the President's Day or Lincoln's birthday or Washington's birthday or so on and so forth. Yeah, we know most folks ain't thinking about Lincoln, Washington, or any other president, and I damn sure not trying to celebrate that. I'm even wondering whether some people real soon will raise objections to Washington's birthday as people are becoming more sensitive to recognizing what George Washington was about. And I'm gonna be curious to see whether some folks move in that direction. I ain't got no time for none of these holidays. We know that Memorial Day, folks aren't thinking about the purposes of that Memorial Day is supposed to represent. Okay, but I want to mention something where you don't get a day off because it happens on Sunday, and a good portion of people are already off. But I catch a lot of flack because I don't do Mother's Day. I don't do Father's Day. And individuals be like, but you have a mother. And I'm like, Do we grasp that somebody else is telling you when you should be honoring your mother? Okay? Some act of Congress says that on the second Sunday in May, you need to honor your mother? Oh, hell no. And I have to go up against a good portion of people that I'm around. And when I say go up against, it's not like I'm coming at you telling you you shouldn't celebrate Mother's Day. I don't, okay? And now I got to contend with folks like, oh, but you got a mother. That is just how under control we are. Father's Day, the third Sunday in June. You know, they don't tell me when I honor my mother. I celebrate my parents on my birthday and on their birthdays. Okay? Get with that, y'all. Okay? Independence Day. Major usage. Now, I'm not a big fan of Frederick Douglass, but I have appreciation for that speech that he gave, you know, saying, what is your 4th of July? What does that mean to a slave? I greatly appreciate that. And so I think you're pretty much clear I ain't trying to push the 4th of July. All right? And you've got Labor Day and Veterans Day. But I want to come to what I believe I would make a case is the number one holiday for the United States of America. The American Thanksgiving. Thoroughly concocted BS that we got taught in school. Thoroughly concocted. They would get you believe that this holiday goes back into the 1600s, all right? Where the reality is that, yes, colonial governments did have celebrations that they referred to as Thanksgiving following victory over murdering Native Americans. All right? I focus on this particular celebration of the United States because it is a observance that most of us have a basic knowledge of the contradiction. Even if you bought the BS that, oh, they couldn't survive the winter and the natives helped them survive and then they all, you know, even if you bought that, all you got to do is ask just about anybody who's made it through elementary school, what happened to the Indians? All of us know that a good portion of that people, the indigenous population of North America, got killed off. That the land that we're on right now is their land. Right? And except for small numbers, they ain't here. Right? And yet, these people have us and damn near everybody else sitting down on the 4th Thursday in November. And that's the reason that I say that this is their most powerful holiday is from a standpoint of ritual and the spiritual significance of ritualized practices. Damn near the whole country is going to do damn near the same thing at damn near the same time, very often with damn near the same the same thing on the menu. Damn near. That's powerful, right? And even though you might say, well, I'm not thinking about pilgrims and Indians and so forth. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just getting together with my family. Well, you got 364 other days in most years to get together with your family. You are basically following instructions being given to you by the people who control the dominant culture, all right? And it's a contradiction. I know that you are not thinking about pilgrims and Indians. I understand that. Neither is the rest of the United States. Even though the children were in school making those pilgrim hats, and somebody is wearing feathers and going through all of that stuff, there's some heavy indoctrination. So even though you do not consciously feel like you're doing what you're doing for those reasons, the ritualization of it is having an effect. Holidays are governments, a country's holidays. This empire, because at other points I've pointed out the error of referring to the population of the United States as a nation, and the United States is not a nation, which is a people, a set of people who share a common ancestry and historical experience. This is an empire. It is a political entity where there is a dominant nation and a bunch of subjugated nations. And we are part of the subjugated nations. And it also has some representation from other nations where people may have more recently moved here and so forth. But we are a subjugated nation. And when you incorporate a subjugated nation into your cultural practices, you pull their allegiance away from themselves to the folks that are in charge. And even if I can't move you off of it, I ain't with it, because my not being with it helps keep me grounded. It helps keep me spiritually in line with our mission. Now, finding this particular poster from 1982, I sat up all night to make this poster. That was back in the days when no computer, right? Some of y'all remember press type lettering. Okay, you had to rub off, letter on a paper. We got a brother to make these drawings that we put in the form of a question mark. All right. I don't know if you can see the folks here. I mean, you got African captives being brought in behind these settlers who are basically trampling over Native Americans. And then you got this circle of African, Native American, and Latino people fighting back.